The hardest thing in life isn't letting go, it's letting them see you walk away, to watch you rise after they've underestimated you, to witness your transformation when they thought you'd stay stuck, broken, or lost. But here's the truth, it's not about proving them wrong, it's about proving yourself right. So let them watch, let them see you soar. The power of moving on lies in its ability to shift your focus from the past to the future. It is a choice to no longer be tethered by the weight of what once was, but to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Moving on is not about erasing memories or pretending like the past never happened. It's about choosing to evolve beyond it. The decision to move on is a declaration that you are no longer a prisoner to past pain, past failures, or past relationships. You are no longer defined by the things that tried to hold you back. The true power in moving on comes from the understanding that the best version of yourself can only be realized when you choose to leave behind what no longer serves you. Every step forward is a step closer to the person you are destined to become. There are those who might not understand the process. They may not see it as an act of strength. Some may even try to convince you that you are running from your problems. But they don't know what you've been through. They don't understand the weight you've carried, the struggles you've faced, and the toll that holding on to the past has taken on your soul. Moving on is not running away. It is standing firm in your decision to stop letting the past dictate your future. It's choosing peace over pain, growth over stagnation, and light over darkness. When you move on, you reclaim the right to define your own story, regardless of how others may try to rewrite it for you. What moving on teaches you is that you are not bound to anyone else's expectations. Often, we hold on to people or situations because we feel a deep sense of obligation, as if we must stay loyal to something that no longer aligns with our journey. But the truth is, loyalty to your own growth is more important than loyalty to a past that doesn't fuel your future. Moving on gives you the freedom to pursue what truly excites you, what truly aligns with your purpose, and what will help you become the best version of yourself. The people who are meant for your future will meet you on the other side of your transformation. The ones who belong in your life will respect the decision to move on and will encourage your growth, not hold you back. When you make the conscious choice to move on, you stop waiting for permission. You stop asking for validation or approval from those who aren't walking the same path as you. You take ownership of your life and your decisions. And in doing so, you set yourself free from the constraints that others try to impose on you. No one has the right to dictate your timeline, your aspirations, or your potential. Moving on is an assertion of your right to create the life even if it goes against the grain of societal norms or other people's expectations. It's a powerful reminder that your happiness and fulfillment are your responsibility, and that you owe it to yourself to step into the life you deserve without hesitation. The decision to move on doesn't mean you forget the lessons learned from the past. It doesn't mean you erase the people or experiences that once shaped you. It simply means that you are no longer living in those moments. The past will always have a place in your heart, but it should not have a hold on your present. When you decide to move on, you honor the lessons and use them to fuel your growth. You take everything you've learned and carry it with you as you step into the future with a new sense of purpose and resilience. Moving on is not about cutting ties with your past. It's about transforming it into the wisdom and strength that will propel you forward. Moving on can be a difficult process, one that requires patience and courage. But the reward is a life unburdened by regret. It's a life where you're free to pursue your dreams, where you're not held back by the weight of old mistakes or broken promises. It's a life where you can breathe deeply, walk confidently, and move forward with the assurance that you're headed in the right direction. The more you move on, the more you become tuned with your own power and resilience. Every time you let go of something that no longer serves you, for the better, for the life you've always envisioned. And in doing so, you begin to realize that the most liberating act of all is choosing to leave behind what's holding you back, embracing what's ahead, and letting yourself thrive without looking over your shoulder. Every time you let go of something or someone that no longer serves you, you reclaim a piece of your power. Too often, we allow external forces, whether it's relationships, situations, or past failures, to determine our sense of worth. These things drain us, holding us hostage in a place of self-doubt and stagnation. But when you choose to release what no longer aligns with your life's journey, you take back that energy. We take back the power that was once drained by toxic circumstances, and you start to refuel your soul. You realize that true power lies not in what you have or what you hold on to, but in your ability to move forward, to change, and to grow. The moment you let go of things that pull you down, you make room for a version of yourself that is more resilient, more empowered, and more aligned with your purpose. This process isn't always easy. Letting go often feels like losing something important, especially when you've invested time, energy, and emotion into it. But the truth is, holding on to things that no longer serve you only keeps you tethered. It keeps you stuck in a cycle of regret, self-doubt, and fear. The power you reclaim when you let go isn't just about freeing yourself from the past. It's about allowing yourself to move into a future where you can live fully, without hesitation. And in doing so, you become someone who is capable of handling whatever life throws at you. You regain control over your decisions, your actions, ultimately, your destiny. Releasing what holds you back is the first step in taking back the reins of your life. For too long, many of us allow the opinions and judgments of others to dictate our actions, our choices, and even our self-worth. When you choose to stop seeking external validation, you begin to understand that your power is not something that can be given to you by anyone else. It is something that resides within you. The moment you release your dependence on others' opinions, you liberate yourself from the fear of judgment. You begin to make decisions based on your own values, your own intuition, and your own sense of what's best for you. In that space, you find your power not in conforming, but in daring to be unapologetically yourself. This reclaiming of power is not just about individual actions, it also involves a shift in mindset. You start viewing challenges and setbacks not as threats, but as opportunities to rise. With every obstacle that you encounter, you realize that you are more than capable of overcoming it. When you begin to understand that life's challenges are not meant to break you, you unlock a new level of personal strength. You no longer fear failure because you know that each setback is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. You begin to trust your resilience, knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise and move forward. How do you respond when things aren't going according to plan? Do you crumble under the pressure? Or do you stand up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward? Growth happens in these moments, in the decisions you make when things aren't perfect. It's easy to remain calm and centered when everything is going well, but true growth is seen when life challenges you. It's in those moments that you see the real progress you've made. The ability to remain grounded, to continue your journey despite the obstacles, speaks to a deeper kind of strength that comes from personal growth. You realize that you have everything you need within you to navigate through life's ups and downs. Oh, you also begin to see things from a different perspective. Growth opens your eyes to the possibilities in your life that you may have missed before. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles, and you begin to view failure as a stepping stone, not a setback. You recognize that the limits you once placed on yourself were self-imposed. And as you shed those limitations, you begin to see just how capable you truly are. Growth challenges you to step outside your comfort zone, to push beyond the boundaries that once held you back. It's about realizing that you have untapped potential, waiting for you to unlock it. As you grow, you begin to trust yourself more, your instincts, your decisions, and your abilities. You start to believe that you are capable of achieving more than you ever imagined. Another powerful aspect of growth is that it teaches you to let go of old patterns that no longer serve you. We often hold on to beliefs, behavior, and relationships that prevent us from evolving. But when you begin to grow, you realize that in order to move forward, you must release what is holding you back. Growth demands that you become aware of the limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging habits that are keeping you in a place of stagnation. It's about letting go of the idea that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success, or that change is impossible. As you grow, you break free from the chains of your past and embrace the person you are becoming. You realize that you have the power to shape your future, and the key to that transformation is in your ability to release the old and embrace the new. Growth also teaches you the importance of patience and self-compassion. It's easy to become frustrated when you're not seeing immediate results or when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like. But growth requires time, and it requires grace. You need to be kind to yourself during the process. During the process, understanding that real change takes time. Just as a seed needs time to grow into a tree, your transformation needs time to fully manifest. Growth is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process of becoming. And as you give yourself the patience and space to grow, you also give yourself permission to evolve at your own pace. It's in these moments of self-compassion that you find the strength to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. You start to realize that growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. And that every step, no matter journey. The truth is, the opinions of others often say more about them than they do about you. People's judgments are shaped by their own experiences, fears, and insecurities, not by the reality of who you are or what you are capable of. When you live your life based on someone else's opinion, you are allowing them to define your worth, and that's a dangerous path. Everyone has their own biases and limitations, and when you allow those voices to guide your decisions, you are dimming your light. The moment you stop measuring your worth against the opinions of others, you free yourself from the weight of their expectations. It is a powerful act of self-love and self-awareness to stop seeking approval from people who don't understand your journey or your goals. Your life, your path, and your worth cannot be defined by someone else's perception of who you should be. When you start living for yourself, you begin to realize how little others' opinions actually matter in the grand scheme of your life. For years, you might have sought validation in places where it was never truly given. You might have adjusted your behavior, changed your goals, or even compromised your values just to fit into someone else's narrative. And the moment you let go of the need to please everyone, you open yourself up to a more authentic existence. You no longer need others to tell you that you are good enough. You already know it. Your own belief in yourself becomes the foundation of your confidence and self-worth. When you live in alignment with your true self, you stop giving power to the fleeting opinions of others and start trusting your own inner voice. You are not here to meet someone else's expectations. You are here to fulfill your own purpose. Often, we let the opinions of others cloud our judgment, causing us to second-guess ourselves or doubt our abilities. It's as if we are always seeking permission to live our lives the way we want. But the truth is, no one else has the authority to decide what's best for you except you. The path to true fulfillment comes when you begin to trust your own instincts and make decisions based on what aligns vision for your life. This doesn't mean you ignore the advice of others, but it means you make the final decision yourself. When you start living for yourself, you stop apologizing for your dreams, your ambitions, and your choices. You stop letting anyone else determine what you can or cannot achieve. Your life becomes a reflection of your own desires, not the expectations placed on you by others. Letting go of other people's opinions also means you stop internalizing their judgments. There will always be people who criticize, or who project their own fears onto you. But those judgments are not yours to carry. People who judge you often do so from a place of their own unresolved issues or unfulfilled dreams. It's easy to take their criticisms personally, but in reality, their opinions reflect more about their own limitations than yours. When you stop absorbing other people's judgments, you take back control of your emotional state. You no longer allow someone else's words to dictate how you feel about yourself. Instead, you learn to respond with compassion and understanding, not just toward others, but also toward yourself. You don't need to defend your choices to those who don't understand your path. You trust yourself and your decisions, knowing that you are doing what is best for you. Over time, you begin to develop an unshakable confidence in your and decisions. When you stop worrying about what others think, you start focusing on what you think, what you feel. Your confidence is no longer tied to external validation. It's rooted in your own self-assurance. This newfound confidence is liberating because it allows you to take risks, pursue new opportunities, and step outside of your comfort zone without fearing judgment. You become less concerned with how others perceive you and more focused on how you perceive yourself. And this shift changes everything. It empowers you to go after your dreams with relentless determination, knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. The more you focus on your own vision for your life, the less you are swayed by the opinions of others. You realize that your dreams and goals are yours to pursue, not anyone else's to approve. Living without the weight of others' opinions allows you to experience freedom like never before. You stop being shackled by the fear of judgment or rejection. This kind of freedom is priceless because it opens you up to a life that is truly your own. No longer are you confined by the expectations of others. You can live authentically, making choices that align with who you are without the fear is disappointing anyone but yourself. This doesn't mean you stop caring about others or become indifferent to their feelings. It simply means that you no longer let their opinions dictate the course of your life. You know that the most important thing is to live in alignment with your own values and purpose. And that's the only measure of success that truly matters. When you choose to move on, you stop waiting for others to give you permission to heal. For too long, many of us are conditioned to believe that we need approval from others before we can let go of the past. We think that we need validation from those around us, or that we must prove our worth before we can move forward. But the truth is, healing is personal, and it doesn't require anyone else's permission. Moving on means you take full ownership of your emotional well-being, and you make the conscious decision to stop letting the past hold power. It's not about denying the pain or pretending like it didn't happen. It's about choosing to move past it and step into a future where you are free to be your best self without waiting for anyone else to say it's okay. There are people who will never understand your need to move on, and that's perfectly okay. It's easy to feel guilty for leaving things behind, especially when others may expect you to hold on to the past. But it's essential to remember that your life, your healing, and your journey are yours alone. Moving on doesn't need to be understood or accepted by everyone else. It only needs to be understood and accepted by you. The more you let go of the desire for approval, the more you find peace in the decision to prioritize your own. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing to take control of your own happiness. Your healing journey is sacred, and the only permission you need is the permission you give yourself. Moving on requires courage because it often means stepping into the unknown. It's natural to feel fear when faced with uncertainty, but it's in these moments that your greatest growth takes place. When you move on, you are forced to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace. This can be daunting, especially when you've been attached to a person, situation, or way of life for so long. But change is where the magic happens. It's where new opportunities, new people, and new experiences are waiting for you. Moving on isn't just about letting go of what's behind you. It's about embracing what's ahead. It's about trusting that something greater is out there and that you are deserving of it. The courage to move on is the courage to trust in the unknown and to believe in your own resilience. When you move on, you make room for something better. Often, we hold on to things out of fear, fear of being alone, fear of missing out, or fear that something better won't come along. But holding on to what's no longer serving you only keeps you stuck in a cycle of dissatisfaction. Moving on opens the door to new possibilities and greater fulfillment. It's about releasing what is holding you back so you can make space for what will elevate your life. You might not know exactly what the future holds, but you do know that it has the potential to be greater than your past. Moving on gives you the opportunity to rewrite your story, to chase dreams you thought were impossible, and to create a life that is aligned with your highest potential. The moment you let go, you make space for abundance, growth, and joy. Sometimes moving on means letting go of relationships that no longer serve your well-being. It can be incredibly difficult, especially when these relationships have been a significant part of your life. But the truth is, relationships should bring joy, support, and positivity into your life, not drag you down. Moving on means recognizing when a relationship is holding you back, draining your energy, or preventing you from becoming the person you are meant to be. It doesn't mean that the relationship was never valuable. It simply means that it has run its course, and it's time for both of you to evolve. The strength to move on from a relationship is the strength to honor your own journey. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who inspire you, and who encourage your growth. Moving on from relationships that no longer align with your values is an act of self-love. Moving on is not an instant process, but a continuous choice. It's easy to think that the moment you decide to move on, everything will magically fall into place. But the reality and transformation take time. Every day is a new opportunity to reaffirm your decision to move on, to let go of old patterns, and to embrace the new, embrace the new. There will be moments of doubt, moments where you might feel tempted to go back to the familiar. But each time you resist that temptation, grow stronger. Moving on requires patience with yourself, knowing that there will be days when it feels hard and days. But as you continue to move forward, you will find that the pain becomes less intense, the weight becomes lighter, and the future becomes brighter. The key to moving on is persistence. It's about making the conscious decision every single day to continue moving forward and never looking back. There's an undeniable power in showing the world that you've moved on, but it's not about proving anything to others. It's about claiming your peace and freedom. Too often, we allow ourselves to be defined by the past, by past relationships, situations, or even past mistakes. We hold on to old pain, old regrets, and old stories, letting them shape how we show up in the world today. But when you let go and move forward, you stop carrying that heavy baggage. You stop allowing the past to have power over your present. Letting others watch you move on is an act of self-liberation. You no longer need to explain, defend, or justify your choices. You simply step forward with the quiet confidence that you are done living in the shadow of your past. In doing so, you allow others to witness the strength and resilience that comes from choosing to move forward and embrace your future. As you move on, you're also stepping into a new version of yourself. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort of familiarity. It happens when you push yourself into uncharted territory. Moving on isn't simply about walking away from something. It's about evolving into the person you are meant to be. When you let go, you create space for new possibilities, new opportunities, and new experiences. Others may watch and wonder how you are so strong or how you can move on so easily, but what they don't see is the inner work, the self-reflection, the pain, the determination. As you move forward, you let them witness the transformation that happens when you choose to prioritize your own growth, healing, and evolution. Moving on means you stop seeking validation from those who never supported you in the first place. For too long, many of us find ourselves seeking approval from people who aren't truly invested in our well-being. We look to others to validate our decisions, our dreams, and our worth. But we forget that our value is not contingent on their opinions. When you finally decide to move on, you stop giving power to the people who don't understand your journey or who never had faith in your potential. Instead, you start seeking validation from within. You begin to trust your own instincts and make choices that are aligned with your vision, not someone else's. You stop looking for others to give you permission to be who you are, to pursue your dreams, or to live your truth. And as you stop seeking approval from those who never truly supported you, you find a new level of freedom and strength to live unapologetically. Letting others watch you move on also gives them the opportunity to witness your resilience. Resilience is one of the most powerful traits you can develop in life, and it is built through overcoming adversity and choosing to rise after every fall. When you show the world that you have moved on from the past, you demonstrate to others that it's possible to rebuild, reinvent, and continue forward no matter the setbacks. It's about how you respond to those challenges. It's about understanding that life will throw curveballs, but how you handle them defines your strength. By choosing to move on and continue moving forward, you teach others that no matter what they face, they too can rise. You inspire them with your own example of what it means to reclaim your power, your joy, and your future after hardship. Moving on also gives you the space to discover what truly matters to you without the influence of outside opinions or past attachments. Often, we cling to the familiar because it's comfortable. You stop living for the approval of others and you start living for the things that resonate with your core values, passions, and purpose. You begin to make choices based on what brings you fulfillment, joy, and peace, rather than what others expect from you. It's a powerful act of self-discovery where you reclaim your identity and take control of your life's direction. Moving on allows you to prioritize your own needs, desires, and dreams, and it frees you from the shackles of obligation and societal pressures. It's in this space of freedom that you find true alignment with who you are meant to be. As you move on, you don't just let go of the past. You release the emotional weight that comes with holding on. Often, the things we refuse to let go of weigh heavily on our hearts and minds. They cloud our ability to experience the present fully and prevent us from stepping into the future with open. When you choose to move on, you're not only moving away from a person or situation, you're also choosing to release the burden of resentment, guilt, or sadness that comes from clinging to what no longer serves you. Moving on is an act of emotional healing where you acknowledge the pain, honor the lessons, and release the emotional charge that is holding you back. In doing so, you create space for peace, love, and joy to flow freely into your life. Letting others watch you move on becomes a testament to the strength and grace it takes to forgive, heal, and embrace what's next. There is a profound strength in moving forward and letting others witness it. We often find ourselves waiting for approval or validation before we take steps toward our own happiness. But the truth is, your journey is yours to define, not anyone else's. Moving on isn't about showing the world how strong you are. It's about showing yourself how capable you are of building a life that reflects your true potential. When you move on, you demonstrate to yourself that you are resilient, that you are not confined by the past, and that you have the courage to step into the future with confidence. Allowing others to watch you move on, you are silently teaching them a valuable lesson. One that says, I am worthy of my own happiness, and I will not let anyone or anything hold me back from living my fullest life. Letting others watch you move on is an empowering act of self-assertion. It's the moment when you stop hiding behind the walls of old wounds and begin to openly embrace your transformation. People may expect you to stay stuck in your past, holding on to old patterns, relationships, or expectations that no longer serve you. But when you choose to move on, you show them that you are in charge of your own story. You stop waiting for someone else's permission or approval to change, to evolve, and to step in to the next chapter of your life. It becomes less about what others think of you and more about your commitment to your own growth. By moving forward with clarity and intention, you send a powerful message to those around you that you will no longer allow their expectations or limitations to define who you are. The process of moving on allows you to tap into a deeper well of self-awareness. When you stop waiting for someone else's validation, you learn to trust your own instincts and decisions. You become more attuned to your desires, your needs, and your personal goals. When you let go of the past, you start to recognize that you are the only one responsible for your future. The more you move on, the more you align your life with your authentic self. You begin to make decisions based on what feels right to you, rather than what others expect of you. This self-reliance fosters a sense of confidence that comes from knowing that you are the architect of your own happiness and success. It's a quiet strength that resonates deeply within you, even when the world around you may not fully understand or appreciate the changes you're making. Moving on also teaches you the art of letting go of attachments, whether they are to people, situations, or outcomes. Because the unknown feels scarier than staying in the familiar. However, when you move on, you show the world that you are not afraid of what comes next. You demonstrate that you understand the importance of releasing attachments in order to make space for new possibilities and growth. This doesn't mean forgetting your past or denying the lessons it has taught you. It simply means choosing not to let your present or future. Moving on requires the courage to embrace change, to release what no longer aligns with your values, and to step into the unknown with an open heart. The act of letting go is liberating and creates the opportunity for you to cultivate new experiences that resonate with your evolving self. The act of moving on doesn't just benefit you, it has a ripple effect on those around you. When others see you walking away from situations, relationships, or mindsets that no longer serve you, they are reminded that too have the power to change. Your strength to let go encourages others to do the same in their own lives. They may be inspired by your courage to move on, and it may spark a sense of possibility within them. As if your actions serve as a living example of what it means to reclaim your life and take control of your own destiny. Sometimes we wait for others to take the first step, to show us that it's okay to move forward. But by taking that step yourself, you inspire others to find their own strength to do the same. The power of moving on becomes contagious And soon, those around you may begin to take their own brave steps toward change and growth. The decision to move on also teaches you the value of prioritizing your own well being. For too long, many of us have lived with the belief that we must cater to others' needs and desires at the expense of our own. We sacrifice our own happiness, peace, and dreams to fulfill what we perceive to be the expectations of others. But when you choose to move on, you prioritize yourself, your health, your happiness, your peace of mind. You recognize that taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is essential. When you stop holding on to things that no longer serve you, you make room for the things that truly matter: your passion, your purpose, and your inner peace. Moving on is a declaration that you are worthy of a life that brings you joy, fulfillment, and balance. By choosing yourself, you demonstrate to others that self-care is not an option, but a necessity for living a fulfilled and meaningful life. None is not about leaving behind what was once important, but about honoring your growth, your worth, and your journey. It's about taking control of your life and embracing the freedom that comes with releasing what no longer serves you. When you let others watch you move on, you don't just show them your strength, you remind them of their own. You lead by example, showing them that it's possible to overcome, to heal, and to thrive. Your decision to move forward is not just an act of liberation, but it's an invitation for others to do the same. So, as you step into the future with grace and confidence, remember that moving on is not just an ending. It's the beginning of something far greater. It's the beginning of a life that's truly yours, free from the chains of the past and filled with endless possibilities.